All right, 4:34, let's go ahead and start the July 2nd Fair Board meeting. 2 weeks prior to the fair. Excellent in there. Call to order, call to roll. Bob, Jerry,
Kristen,
Dr. Kristen.
sure, if you want to be fancy.
Okay, Kristen. And we've got Jason, we got Bill, Leah, and me. And we've got, of course, Bob. All right,
Marketing Bob.
marketing Bob.
Marketing Bob.
All right, public communication time. We do have 2 periods for the public to make comments. This is the 2-minute comment if you'd like to make it. If it's later in the event, we will have a 5-minute opportunity for the public to make a pitch if they would like. Can't do both. You pick one. And the maximum for this period, 2 minutes each. So we'll go up to 10 minutes. And then later we'll do the 5 minutes and we'll go to 30 minutes. If we have anybody in the public that would like to speak, and I don't see anybody here other than, would you like to speak, ma'am?
Just here because.
You-
We have a 4-H meeting after.
Oh, okay. Oh, perfect. Okay, great. Well, welcome. Okay. All right, no public comments. Financial update. At this time, we would like to look at the financial report for fiscal year 2024, 2025, taking it to May 31st of this year. And we do have the financial statements on the desk in front of us. Let's have a discussion.
So you've got the financials there in front of you. As a reminder, you have a financial memo with just some of the things that we talked about a few months ago. I just want to reinforce, this is financials. This is encompassing the 2024 fair. So this financial is a reflection from last year's fair. So as of June 30th, that is last year's fair, but this is the final, almost final. You'll get the June at our September meeting. And we'll talk about projected through June in a minute, but this is the financials for the 2024 fair through May of 2025. We do operate on a fiscal year, for those of you that are new. So nothing really to report. Not a lot going on. In fact, really just not a lot going on in May, just like there won't be a lot going on in June. So the one thing to note is our transient lodging tax. County Finance gave us a projection of 707,000. We are not going to meet that. We're going to get close. I anticipate we'll probably get another 40 to 50,000 for the month of June in TLT. So we're going to get close, but we're not going to quite make the transient lodging tax projection. However, talking about projections, if you want to look at the screen, I've just got a quick projected June. And what I project we're going to end up for the end of fiscal year once all the June revenue and expenditures are finalized. So I'm predicting that we're going to be 407,000 to the positive when the June financials are completed. So last year was a really good year. It was a really good fair. The weather really cooperated. We made more and we spent less. So it was a good financial year for last year.
So where do you think in the expenditure things, 175, where do you think you're not gonna spend that?
No, not even close.
But I mean, which category are you not gonna spend that in?
So, I mean, it has nothing to do with what we are going to spend on it or not. We just spent less money last year in general. Like, you know, we didn't spend as much money in, let me see, let's look at some specific ones. So as a reminder, last year we added 4 new categories, and you'll see those at the very end of the second page: 51575, 51585, 51590, and 51595. That is safety, commercial vendors, concessions, and janitorial. We added those last year as a way to be better tracked, and that all came out of professional services before. So we spent a lot less money on professional services. We thought we would spend it all in those 4 categories, and we didn't. So we just spent less money. Last year, we did a great job about really tightening our belt and really being more efficient and only spending money that we absolutely had to spend. And we're doing that again this year. I've told the staff, like, if it is a nice to have, we're not buying it. If it's a nice to have, we're not renting it. If it's a nice to have, we're not spending it. If we have to have it, we're spending it. Because transient lodging tax is a little bit flat. So even though we did very well revenue wise, we made more money on carnival, we made more money on food. We did really well revenue wise. We can't always count that the weather's gonna be perfect and we have a lot of people on the ground. So last year, the weather, if you remember, was perfect. We had 10 days of absolutely perfect weather. In fact, I wore a sweatshirt every night last year because it was cold at night. The 5 years prior to that, it would only cool off to be about 100 degrees in the evening. I was not wearing a sweatshirt. We did not do as well financially because people did not spend the same amount of money. When it's cooler, they buy more food, they ride more carnival rides. So, and then just more of them attend, so we get more parking money. So we don't always have that. So that's why making sure that we're being really on it for expenditures and only the money we absolutely have to have. Last year, we were also worried about costs going up. We're worried about that as well. We're seeing a little bit of costs go up. There was a lot of rumble a couple months ago about everything was gonna cost more because of tariffs. That didn't seem to pan out so far. So we didn't see a lot of those big cost increases. So I think we'll do better for next year on our expenditures as well. But we're gonna keep that tightening of our belt, being really strategic. We're pretty understaffed at the moment. We didn't fill some positions purposefully. Some we were not successful with
Volunteers looking
recruitments.
for a job. Oh, you want quality people.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
right.
Hey, buddy, watch it.
So
I'm a voter,
You're gonna be out of a job pretty soon.
18 months, hallelujah.
Let's see,
there's
he's been in politics for
Ever.
16 years,
Yeah.
20 years.
I'm tired of paying them. How about
Yeah,
you?
you're right, yeah.
We'll give him a pitchfork, we'll see how he.
I was making my worth as mayor to Brenda.
Well, you didn't amount to much.
Yeah, that's right. Low hanging fruit. Go ahead, sorry.
So there's less money expended for professional services as well. So that's where some of the savings also belongs. So we just little places where we can save or not expend funds. So to be under budget by around 175,000 and to be, generate 231 more in revenue was a really good year. Congratulations to the staff and all of you. It's a good financial year. We're looking forward to hopefully doing it again in this coming fiscal year.
One thing I have, and I know it's not in the financials, we have the homeless again this year. How much damage did we incur here?
So that's not under the Fair Board, financials or budget, but I'm happy to talk about it. So we've had a homeless shelter in the Cloverleaf building since 2020. They do damage the building quite a bit.
Yeah.
So, but the county, our contract is with county housing. It's not with like Project Homeless Connect or one of the other homeless organizations. They are a third party, but so we have a contract with the county. So the county pays us to use the Cloverleaf building. They pay us very well. But they also are responsible that when that contract ends, they have to restore the building to its original state. And that contract is set to end next June. So, and housing knows, we talk about it every year. We do walkthroughs and go, oh, now you have to fix this and now you have to fix that. They're gonna have to fix a bunch of siding that they destroyed. So there's going to be a lot of repairs, but it's with the county. I'm not concerned, but they will be expending quite a lot of money to restore the Cloverleaf building once that contract is up.
Will the toilet facilities and both there be available?
For the fair?
for the-
Yes, so the fair, 4-H will be using the Cloverleaf for the fair. So the repairs that had to be made to make it workable for this year have already been completed. So they left in the end of May because it gives us then a little over a month and a half for them to do the repairs that have to be done to make it usable for 4-H, and that has been completed. But a lot of the cosmetic stuff, the whole building will have to be repainted, probably re-sided, floors redone and things like that, and bathrooms remodeled, once that contract is complete.
Well, I'd guess that money comes out of this SHS
It does.
shelter homeless regional tax that people pay. So yeah.
But it is set, it's all in good shape, for 4-H.
That was the key of my question. Perfect,
You just don't see it in your budget because it's in
Yeah.
the facility budget.
excellent.
So if I could just comment to Jason.
No.
Yeah, Jason, you need to listen to me, not Gary. But if you want a snapshot of what July, August, and September expenses for this year's fair, this is just look at the first 3 months here, yeah. And that's a good kind of flip over. I have had finance in past years convert this to a calendar year so we can see actual fair income and expenses against what we incurred during the year. They have difficulty doing that, and it usually takes them a couple months, and right now they're understaffed, so I'm not asking them to do it, but it is interesting when you convert this to a calendar year format. So anyway.
It is interesting, but it's also pretty darn close to accurate.
Yes, yeah.
We always wondered, and when they finally converted it to a calendar year for us, we went, wow, that's,
Not too far
it's
off,
not too
yeah.
far off, yeah. And that's it. But I'm happy to answer any other questions financial related.
Any questions, further questions?
Motion to approve.
Make a motion, we approve the financials.
Second.
Perfect, seconded. All in favor? Aye. Any opposition? Seeing none, financials passed. Wow, that's the shortest you've ever done, Jerry.
That's great. Thank
It
you.
is, definitely.
Okay, moving right along. So County Fair 2025 update. I'm going to give you a fairly quick update because you saw this just recently at our joint meeting with our Board of Commissioners last month. So this, I don't have a lot new to report, but I'm going to go through it anyway. So if you have any questions, and then we're going to get to Kristen's 4-H update, which she is giving me a PowerPoint, which is exciting because we've never had 4-H do a PowerPoint doing a Fair Board meeting. So this is awesome. I'm very excited about it. I love it.
Overachiever, you.
Yeah, she is. Okay, so let's see. So moving right along, general update, we opened in 16 days. Safety and security have been meeting with the Sheriff's Department and HPD and our security, and of course, Steve Volsteck. We have another meeting coming up next week. Everybody's set. I think about the only thing we're still kind of outstanding on, and I shared this with President Seidel yesterday, is there's still some question about ICE and their authority to come into the fairgrounds. And that we're even having conversations about that today. You know, can they, can federal officers come in and serve a judicial warrant at 100%? Can they come in and just look around with guns and just come in and see if they find illegals? We're not sure. We don't know the answer to that. It is creating a lot of concern from the public. We're getting phone calls, emails, social media questions about people saying, don't come to the fair. They're gonna be taking people, unmarked vans, go at your own risk. It's scary. But we're trying to get some answers about what the Sheriff's Department can legally and not legally do. They know that if they have a warrant, obviously they can come in, serve the warrant, take the person if they need to, and do that work. But it's the other ambiguous part of it where we have concerns and questions about. So as I get more information, I will certainly keep you posted. Worst case scenario, according to County Council, is we may have to do another quick Fair Board policy, in which case I would need to convene a Chris meeting after we make that decision. So we'll know soon. I'm meeting with them on Monday as well.
So you have a deadline, they have to make a decision before the fair starts.
Before the fair starts. So, and then if we have to convene a meeting, we'll have to get that done before the fair. But County Council's working on it. I'm not concerned. They're looking at it. They're going to come out. They're going to meet with us. They're reviewing ORSs because Fair Board has state statute that allows you to determine policing at the fair. Right now, your policing is done by the Sheriff's Department, but you can change how policing is done and have your own police force if you so choose. And deputize people, you can choose what people are arrested. There's some crazy state laws that what Fair Boards get to do, but that's a benefit in this case where it might be that the Fair Board can have a policy that states, these are the conditions in which federal officers can and cannot detain people on the fairgrounds. Like warrant, yes. Looking around and seeing what people look like, no. But we just don't know yet. So I will keep you posted, whatever the case may be, but they are going to do training for the Sheriff's Department and our staff regardless. So, but they're just, some of these questions that are being posed are still, there's just not enough answers yet. So if we have to do a last minute policy change, I will gather a quick meeting, but.
We do have a policy for Steve Volsteck, right?
Yes, we do.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
And we also have an access policy that you guys remember last year we voted on all new updated policies last July. And one of them was an access policy, which was an access policy that gives staff and Fair Board the right to question people who are not in appropriate places. Like all of a sudden we find people in this corridor here, which is area, it's off limits except to staff at Sheriff's Department. We have the ability to trespass people if they're found in places they're not supposed to be. So county council, is trying to figure out, does this fall under access policy? Does this fall under weapons policy? What does it fall under no policy at all? And we need a policy. So I don't know yet, but we'll.
And we have the ability to convene a Zoom meeting
Yes.
and vote electronically.
Yes.
So-
Yes, we absolutely can.
They normally give, don't they normally give notice to the county ISIS?
No.
Not
If
at
they're
all,
coming in.
ever?
No, they do not. No, they do not.
Yeah, the only thing is they wouldn't have the general facts you need to get a warrant by a judge.
No.
I know ICE does travel with a judge.
Yeah.
And they can do a warrant in there, but to get the cause to be able to get it, I think it's gonna be almost impossible unless you're making stuff up.
I don't think they'd want to come into
No, and-
thousands of people.
no, and
We
they
don't know.
probably wouldn't want to come into a rural agricultural farm and animal community because migrants are allowed to come in and they've been getting visa, work visas to come in, so God, I can't imagine them coming in and doing anything here.
I can't imagine either. I do know, our carnival has, foreign workers, they're all legally
Yeah.
allowed to be here. Same thing with our food vendors. So they also have some concerns. They're more concerned in California right now, but they've been asking some questions as well. And so I'm trying to get answers for them.
Okay, yeah,
But everybody's just a little bit, it's just too vague right now. So that's why we need some clear answers. So we'll.
yeah, then we
we'll-
had, I remember we had, this was the air show, Jerry, probably about 8-10 years ago. We had that one group that wanted to come in because it's open carry. They
Yes,
could come in
Yep.
because of the Second Amendment rights. They were gonna come in with guns,
Mm.
but we don't allow any guns other than police officers
So,
here.
no.
Have we ever stopped anybody?
Yes, so we allow concealed carry if they are licensed, and so if somebody shows up with a concealed carry weapon,
They got a permit.
then they have a permit, they're stopped at the gate, and the sheriff's department runs their license, checks their ID, does everything, but they still have to carry it concealed, and they are not allowed to carry it concealed in any buildings. Every building that includes this building,
Okay.
barns, all buildings, they can carry it concealed outside, so then they literally have to go out and go around to an outside gate, they cannot have it in the building. If they wanna open carry, they can also open carry, again, not in buildings, but people can open carry. There is some laws about that, I'm not overly familiar with, in the sheriff's department
Sure.
is, I think we've had it in one time in my 25-year history here, and it was a Second Amendment activist who was exercising his rights, he just wanted to see what would happen to him. Gil McGregor was the, sheriff
Okay.
at the time, on duty, and he just said, come on in, but, basically behave and don't go in any buildings, so those aren't
Yeah,
really, but we do, now that we do scanning at the gates, there are people that walk up to the gates, see the weapon scanners and leave and don't come back. So
Okay.
we assume that those people have weapons.
but you can still have the axe throwing for Gary.
yeah, we're doing the X throwing, right?
We wanted,
Kristen, we got X throwing,
we had an
4-H
ex-throwing
now?
group wanted to be in the parade, but they were too late.
I'm just kidding.
So we do have axe throwing at the fair. We have new rules after the last time. We didn't,
Because of your husband?
no, it was because of my brother-in-law. It's almost the same difference, but yeah, we found out that if you won axe throwing, they gave you the axe. We didn't know that. And my brother-in-law was like, look, Leah, I won an axe. I'm like, where did you get an axe? He was there. But that's why we have rules. So Bob's like, what do you mean you're giving away axes? The guy's like, oh, did I forget to tell you that if you win, you get the axe? No, you do not get to carry an axe around the fair. So there's been some changes. There's been some changes.
Yeah. I know.
Well, I'm sorry about Jason being the new guy. He's the one that's got to catch axes this
Yeah, he
year.
does, yeah.
I think you already have a good line on it.
And if these guys are throwing them, you really stand right.
You're
in the middle.
staying-
A tiny target.
They couldn't, we wouldn't hit anything if we were aiming that way.
So commercial, so moving on from safety and security, that's kind of, I'll keep you posted more on what I know from county council. Commercial vendors, I know Bob had 6 more vendors that were issued licenses today, but other than that, I think we're pretty close to being full. Is that correct? Are we all full? Concessions are all completely full and contracted. Steak dinner is on July 26th, with the Livestock Association. Just checked in with them. They're all set to go with that. The tickets are available on their website. So if anybody, or if you want to buy tickets, or if you know anybody, or if people are asking where to get the tickets, they're available on the website. Last year they sold out. So encourage people to buy their tickets. early.
Yeah, it's the Bill Ganger Ticketmaster, isn't it?
Or Susie, or
Right.
Susie.
Okay.
But they sold out last year. So that's why I've been telling people, if you want them, buy
How many
now,
do I
do
have
not
to tell
wait.
you I want? When do I have to tell you how many I want?
Now.
This week.
Add me to your list.
Okay. Well, I know it's gonna be at least 3, so. Let's see if my Yahoo son's gonna come. But I
Want me
bring
to send you an email on that, knowing that you can't reply?
But then you have proof that you
I sent the email, yeah.
That's right.
Well, he can get it and read it. For him to reply is.
That's just another story.
Okay, so let Bill know if you need tickets.
We pick on people, Kristen, so you'll see that, okay?
Nice.
The job's off.
I know.
And then the youth breakfast is still set. Again, President Seidel sent out the email to you all earlier this week about the breakfast, but breakfast is 7 to 9 again. It's in the Cloverleaf, so this year, and we're gonna talk a little bit more about this. All the activities that used to be in the Cloverleaf for 4-H are now in Wingspan, and so the Cloverleaf is going to be used for kids and families in 4-H and FFA to gather. I'm calling it the 4-H Clubhouse, but that's just, I'm hoping it catches on. I like it. But that's, the tables are gonna be set up in the Cloverleaf building, so the kids will be inside in the air conditioned to be able to eat their breakfast in the morning with you guys. And you'll serve on the inside of the building and still
Turn the
cook on the
tables
outside.
around.
Yep.
Serve in there.
Yeah.
And the only thing, we still have the kitchen to be able to get the Elmer's batter.
Yep.
And pour it in. Elmer's is sponsoring again the pancake batter. So we've got that.
So
we've
we
got-
cook right outside of the building.
Yeah.
You'll cook right outside the
The 3
building, but you'll
griddles will
serve,
be put
you'll
out.
serve on the inside of the building. No tent this year.
And they'll bring the food in.
Oh,
No, all we'll do is, whoever's bringing the batter, we'll bring it right up to the table. We'll take it out to the griddles, they'll start cooking. And then we can bring it back to the
Gotcha.
kids, to my granddaughters and to Jason's daughter, and they'll serve it.
I'm sure he's gonna have so much fun with his granddaughters.
perfect.
They
They
did
loved it
such
last
a
year.
good job.
Okay, yeah.
Good.
They'll have a ball.
What happened to number 3?
What do you mean, number 3?
We have 3 girls.
Yeah. For some reason I thought you had triplets, not.
No, I have just the twins.
Oh, that's right. That's
Yeah,
right,
but
okay.
remember, we also had, Mitch had the 3 girls, the 3 sisters
Right.
Mhm.
that do come, they come in every once in a while. And if they're here, but they're in college right now, so they may not be
And they
around.
might be out of college.
Yeah, that's right. But I know they were going on because they were going for their masters.
Yeah.
One was going for a doctorship, so. Wow. So it was good there.
Okay, and then just a quick advertising and marketing update. Bob, you can just give a quick update, but I think our advertising is all starting this week.
Yeah, billboards are up, so that's fun. Billboards are great for us.
I saw one today on TV Highway.
Yep, TV, I saw, yeah, we got
That's
one
nice,
on
like TV,
26, one on Brookwood, and then a couple more around. Electronic boards are just the way to go. It's way easier. And then social media, we're just getting started on social. We want to wait till after the 4th of July weekend because everyone's traveling, so it doesn't really make a lot of sense. So Monday, we hit news on all 4 major stations in the morning and evenings. Radio will start as well. We got the KGON, The Bull, and Charlie FM.
Yeah, the ball's been, I heard something.
Yeah. So he started early for us for some
Yeah,
reason.
it was good.
I don't know why, but that's great. We'll take it. And then, yeah, social and digital media is our main thrust, and that starts really after this weekend along with TV and radio. So, yeah, we're ready to go. We're solid.
If you're on social media, see our stuff, share it.
We share, like,
See, share, like, that's right. Exhibit programs, so, let's see. 4-H and FFA are here, July 24th through the 27th. Got dairy, beef, sheep, goats, I don't know how many horses we have. We have Posse horses. I don't know if we have 4-H.
Gonna have to have some, aren't you, for master showmanship?
Probably have.
We
a
have
few.
3 horses that are
Three.
going for master,
Okay.
and maybe a horse demo. So yeah, we'll have to talk about when they come
we
in.
can
the
horse
gate.
demo.
Somebody asked if they could, but I could tell them no.
No, then bring it
He
on.
just wants it on the schedule.
I know you do. I know you
By
do.
having to delete it every year.
I know, but somebody, they do want to do it, so, okay, I'll write it down, I'll tell you when.
And then their projects, their educational, presentations, projects and displays are in Wingspan, which we are really excited, and they're gonna be in there all 10 days. And Kristen's gonna talk a little bit more about that in a minute, so I'm not gonna steal any of her thunder. Open class competitions will have, on opening weekend, we'll have beef, cattle, pie, nora, goats, and sheep. And then our open class community competitions are in Wingspan every day, and so those will be coming in next Saturday, I think. And our new honeybee exhibits, which we're really excited about.
Now, are they gonna be pulling any of the hives out?
I actually don't know what they're gonna do for display. So it's the Washington County beekeepers. They are entering honey and honey products, candles and various different things. And I think they are going to try to do a hive display, but I'm not entirely sure.
Because the only thing there would be kids getting stung or somebody getting stung.
Yeah.
When I've seen them do it, they're like behind glass, so you can like
Okay,
see them, but it's like not the whole hive. But I've seen them do it like once or twice, so maybe it's the same,
Yeah.
or like a portion of the
That's
hive.
right.
Like seeing the glass.
Get a frame. show.
Yeah,
yeah.
They said they were still waiting to see what their club wanted to do, so we'll know, but we're excited about it. Entertainment, our featured entertainment, Super Science is back in the Growing Grove along with Play Fit Fun. Brad's World of Reptiles is in the Wingspan again, which was the best decision Bob probably ever made for Wingspan, is putting that big anchor exhibit in the building to really hold people in that building and spend more money in the Wingspan.
I'll take the credit, but I think it was your idea.
Well, maybe not, I don't know, I don't remember. And Birdman, the Flying Royals. So we're really excited about this educational bird exhibit. We have not had, the last time we had an educational bird exhibit was in 2013 or something.
Something like
It's
that.
been, yep,
Over by the small animal.
yeah, it was a long time ago.
It was that boat.
Yeah, the pirate
Pirate boat.
the pirate
Oh,
boat.
okay.
And before that was 2001. So we've only ever had two educational bird exhibits here. And so we're excited to have this, have him taking a trip from California to Oregon,
Is that gonna be all 10 days or? what
all
is-
10 days. Yeah. And then the Flying Royals, kind of Cirque du Soleil trapeze show is gonna be here all 10 days. This is, I mentioned that it took me a few years. I saw these guys a few years ago at the Arizona State Fair, and I begged them to make a trip to the Pacific Northwest. So they're gonna be here and at a few other places in Oregon and making a trip up into Washington. So we're really lucky that we got to have them because they don't come to this part of the world very often. And of course, Brad's Reptiles in the exhibit hall last year was great. And then just kids and family highlights. We've got the Growing Grove, of course, and Play Fit Fun. And then we've got Molly's Choose Your Own Adventure on the Growing Grove stage. The kids loved it last year. Molly did a little bit of a different show. And so she's doing her Choose Your Adventure show this year. And then we've got a juggler show on the stage as well. So that's gonna be, they were really popular last year. I don't know if any of you really have gone into the Growing Grove. It's amazing.
Yes.
I know some of you have small grandchildren and it's just so great for kids. And it was really dialed in last year. It was packed in there all the time.
I've also talked to the people in the office having kids, they're all excited about Wicked.
Oh, the Wicked, yeah, the Wicked
Yeah.
sing-along. We'll talk about that more in a second.
Yeah.
So on main stage, we've got Nashville star Ned Ledoux, Rena Rock Gold. We've got a variety of different tribute bands, 2 movie nights, Outlaw Mariachi and Conjunto Alegre on our final closeout night. Ned Ledoux is the son of the late Chris Ledoux, who's a famous rodeo musician. And I did not know until somebody reminded us on social media that Chris Ledoux actually played here in the 80s. So people were really excited to have his son, who's following in his footsteps, playing at the fair. So then I got all the feels about that. So that's kind of cool. And then we've got our 2 movie nights, our Wicked movie night, which is a Wicked sing-along. Come and sing along with Wicked. We're encouraging people to wear costumes. We'll have a costume contest, Team Pink, Team Green. And then a Minecraft movie, which I'm told is gonna be great. Little kids are
My son has it on his calendar, Tuesday night.
good, good, good. I told you guys last time, I see half of these movies every year and I never go back and watch the other half because I don't have little kids. So I've seen half of the children's movies for the last few years. Maybe I'll get to see more of them this year. And then, of course, our Tap House stage that we've had for years, we've rebranded it to the Oasis stage, and it's featuring all-day live music. And I would like to point out that I believe that I have Jason to thank as the sponsorship for our Oasis stage.
Wow.
So First Community Credit Union is sponsoring, so thank you, Jason,
Very nice.
and your organization for sponsoring our all-new Oasis music stage. And we've moved it a little bit, we moved it across from where it's been, and it's gonna be completely redecorated and all like desert and water and like very much an Oasis theme with it. And we have a new alcohol provider with all new bars that are being themed as well to go with our various different themed areas. We've got our Bahama Beach area, which has got, it's gonna have a Bahama bar featured with it, and the Oasis stage has got an Oasis featured bar right next to it. So we're really excited and thank you.
Absolutely.
And then thank you to our partners. These icons are way smaller than I thought they were gonna be when I put them on this PowerPoint. So thank you to Les Schwab and Northwest Natural and First Community and Farmington Gardens, Family Fun RV, Banks Veterinarian, and I cannot see what the other one says.
That's in
So,
our motors.
oh, S&R Motors, okay.
Down around.
So S&R Motors, so Coastal Farm and Ranch, who has been our livestock sponsor for many, many years, theirs expired and they've changed owners, so they, did not renew. We're hoping we can get in touch with the new owners and try to pitch that again, or with another provider next year. But S&R Motors stepped up to be our sponsor for our livestock area this year. So great job, Bob, on that sale. And that is it from a fair preview. So any questions before we move on to?
Is Scott over at Hillsborough still giving you
Yes,
gators?
yes. In fact, I just found out he's giving us more than we've asked for. And he's giving us he's giving Albert
A new one?
a brand new one with
Okay.
air conditioning.
Oh
So
my God.
I know.
I don't know which one you did.
That's what I said.
Okay,
And I'm
yeah.
like, I know which one I'll be riding around in. So we're pretty excited that Albert's getting a upgrade to his ride.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Then we'll switch over to our village update. I can figure out how to do it.
As a board, we haven't been able to say congratulations, Christian.
Oh, no, you did last time.
Not in person.
Oh, not
That person that's trying to get on
virtually.
on
Said
the, yeah, on
congratulations.
Zoom, yeah. But now we get to see you in
Congratulations and
person.
welcome.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Take your Tylenol before the day.
and it was a very nice presentation you did to get the position. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, I'm officially moved to a new cubicle in the office. I literally just moved like 2 cubes down.
Okay.
I took Alan's old one because he has a really nice whiteboard that's massive and huge because he's really tall. So I took his whiteboard.
Which,
It's like 2025, like fair board / fair safety.
oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Cool. Why is it not showing? Oh, I
I
know.
know. You gotta share it.
May have to reshare it.
Yeah.
Oh, you may not know about Gary. There are 2 board members that are Blue Ribbon Champion winners.
Grand champion.
Grand champion, only 2 on this board,
Just 2.
just 2 of us, Gary and.
Ganger gave them the livestock and they walked it through the thing and that's all they did.
Oh, I see.
So you may wanna,
Charlie.
tell
Part of
the,
that every meeting.
Yeah.
tell the kids what they're shooting for.
Yeah. Do you bring them to like put on like the table? and
Oh,
like-
they would if I let them.
Yeah. She's got them hidden from.
Yeah.
Should be tattooed on.
I know.
Wearing them.
But we like to keep a low profile.
Mm, Yeah.
We don't tell many people.
But see, what we do is we show the cleanest cows you could ever get, Turlois.
Oh, I know.
And the other cows are dirty,
Yeah.
so they're just dirty, but the clean cows, that's what we show.
Nice, I
In fact,
know.
we've made Ganger famous.
No.
I caused trouble because Leah called me up. Look what you did.
You know what was fun though, seriously?
Yeah.
When we did that, it was a lot of fun. the other groups wanted us to come show their animals
Yeah.
too.
People always through the fair.
Oh, yeah. people are
It
like,
was
"Oh,
fun.
that
That's what
is-"
we need to do though.
Yeah,
Yeah, and we got stirred up, so.
and we get to visit all of them. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, I know.
We love going around to all the kids.
Somehow or other, they don't want to get in the pig.
Oh, I did the pig pen.
Well, I was last year, try to get these other two.
Oh, man.
Nice.
What do you mean?
I was with the henning kids.
Show?
Yeah.
I don't recall that off the bill.
I'll get you in.
All right, folks, here it is. I just wanted to really share some of just basic, just like, we have over 2,000 entries, so that is everything that kids have submitted, like all that paperwork, it's paper, over 2,000 of it, but we have 249 kids that submitted entries. So that is really exciting to see that many kids are in 4-H and participating. And then kind of the breakdown from that, so over the 2,000 entries, this is kind of the distribution. So Hearth has taken up the most of it. You still have a lot of small animal, clover buds. Those are the kids that are 5 to 8. So they're the younger kids. When you get to be 9, the world in 4-H opens wide to you. Then you can show, you can do everything. But when you are not 9, you cannot do everything. So pretty much the clover bud kids can handle like small animals that are not supposed to hurt you. So guinea pigs, rabbits. They can do cats, which I think is very fascinating. But no horses, no large livestock. And then also too, our big push with clover buds is really not to do like the judging, but to more like let them sample the world and figure out what thing that they really like. So we really try to do more of like show and tell. So that's our big thing. But it is really fun for the kids to get kind of like their taste of fair and get their projects here. So they are not quite judged, but they do participate. But that's really fun for us to really know that like there are younger kids that are gonna come up and want to be in the program when they're, 9 years old to 18. And then livestock got about over 500 entries in there. And then we do have some horse kids that are doing their bit with fair next week, I believe. And then, yeah. And then if you want to go to the next one, it really does break down to how many animals are coming to.
That's impressive.
Yeah,
That's
I don't know
really good.
really where that stacks on years past, but yeah, it seems like it's kind of, I think, same as what we talked about.
It's really close.
Yeah,
It's up a little bit.
yeah. The clover bud is like probably the biggest like entry point. So we'll see,
You beat me to it, Jared.
yeah.
I hadn't got down there yet.
But I'm really excited too, especially for Hearth and the big plans that we have for Wingspan. It'll be really cool to have like the fashion review, the food contest, the floor arranging, all that will be here and in kind of a bigger stage and a platform for kids. And then if you want to go to the next slide, Leah. So this is kind of talking more about our ideas for the clubhouse. When I started in this new role, I talked to a lot of folks, and a lot of folks talked about like fair is the time that kids across clubs can meet and hang out, but they didn't really have a lot of spaces besides like trying to hang out in barns. And also too, I mean, it's a really hot summer. And so I've always worried a lot about like keeping kids safe, knowing where kids are and they're supervised, having more spaces that are AC. So when the opportunity of the Wingspan was kind of like glaring in our face, it was really nice to think that we can turn the clubhouse into something where just 4-H and FFA kids can be and hang out. Like parents, like if they're working, they can go hang out there, take meetings. I'm really excited that our dog fair is the first weekend and we're gonna have that indoors. So we got some real fancy, some show gates, and then unfortunately the rehabilitation dock diving pool across the street went out of business. And so I got all their mats for a bargain. So we spent 4 hours like power washing them. But so now we have really nice mats. So the dogs can be inside, they won't be slipping around. So we're excited for that too, because, I think dogs is one of those project areas a lot more people can participate in, but it's really rough on dogs to be outside like any other animals. So ice cream social, dance, the pancake breakfast, everything's gonna be inside. And then so I think that's gonna be really nice where it's just us hanging out together and it's a place to be. And so if kids like have 30 minutes in between like contests, they can go to the clubhouse and hang out. We did have a recent Dutch Bros fundraiser, and so we're earmarking all the fundraiser from Dutch Bros to like pay for snacks and drinks. And so we're really trying hard to like, make up posters and kind of make it a really fun, inclusive looking space for kids to be. And then the next slide, we worked a lot with Bob, and Bob was like the wizard magic of CAD and making this look what it's going to be. And it's already actually all set up. So it'd be.
Pop your head in after
Yeah,
the meeting.
pop your head in to look what it's gonna be. But that is where all of our exhibits are. We do have a couple like FFAs in there too. But the stage is much bigger, I think 8x8, so this is kind of an outdated slide. But we are really excited of all the display cases and everything. Y'all seen our 4-H exhibits. Kids do some really awesome work. It is fantastic to see kids that can sew and do the fiber arts and leather, the creative writing. I mean, it's really, really fantastic. So I'm really excited that kids have a lot more of a visible place to kind of share that with the crowds. Our judging day is actually on Saturday. So next week, all the kids that have any sort of hearth exhibit is coming in, and that's when they get judged. So when you see them during the 10-day fair, they've already had their ribbons, they already had their interviews with the judges. We're also spending a lot of time working with fair interns to do like make and take activities. So kind of like the zoo where you're like, we're gonna feed the seals at 1. We're trying to have like some advertisement of like, we're gonna learn how to do button sewing at 1 o'clock. So the public can come in, get a taste of what it's like to do projects, and hopefully that kind of leads into more kids wanting to enter into more 4-H clubs. So yeah, we're thinking of like button sewing was one. Yeah, all the fair interns kind of had some really cool ideas of some different things that we can work on. So we're trying to make it a little bit more engaging too. So hopefully the public can come in, it's really family friendly, people can look at exhibits, and also to having something for kids to do beyond just like coloring pages and coloring books. Because we do have a lot of folks with cool skills and expertise. And then the last slide I think I have, this may or may not happen, but we're trying to do a demonstration kitchen. So actually having a stove in the wingspan. And so we have our food contest, kind of like a food network. The public can actually view it live. We worked a lot with Bob and Leah on this. And then we've had some really like champion volunteers, Annabelle included, that have been going out to different places with donation letters asking. We do have some promising conversations with Van Dyke Appliance over in Forest Grove, and they may be able to donate a stove for us. So it may actually happen. We knew it was a very huge ask in a very short amount of time with this change. So it would be really cool if it happens. If it doesn't, our backup plan is just Leah and Bob and everybody has given us the permission to use the kitchen in the back. So, which is also a fantastic kitchen, which would be much better than anything our kiddos could probably use in the Clover Leaf. So it would be really exciting. And then we want to go 2 slides, Leah. Y'all seen that kitchen. It's beautiful. That would be really cool for our kids to be a part of. But this is kind of like our schedule of events. So we have our Mariachi STEAM program. It's a Juntos 4-H extension program. They're going to be on deck for the first day on the 18th. On the 19th, we're going to be really busy in here with food contests, fly arranging. And then the 20th, we have our like talent show. Our robotics people have been in the wingspan doing things before. So they're going to be kind of off and on in a couple of days. And then we are trying to fit in a lot of make and takes. And then another big push would be the 26th and 27th with more like the button sewing, fiber arts, robotics, hearth awards, and some of our other awards will be at one stage. So we're kind of adding to this list of scheduled events that comes. But all done. That was
Nice.
Yeah,
Very nice.
You have any projects
Good job.
or you could master to do during the fair?
Yes, I actually am gonna go to their ambassador meeting on Sunday. One of the things that I really, really want is like a slideshow presentation, because now of the projectors, it would be so cool because so many like really amazing things happen throughout the year, but just pictures of kids and the achievements that of things that have happened. Like, for example, our horse quiz bowl team won at the state level, and they're going to nationals in the fall to Lexington to compete. We have a lot
For
of
what's that? I'm sorry, what was that?
horse quiz bowl. Do you know we do quiz bowls? It's kind of actually really cool. Kids don't watch the family game shows as much like they used to, but they like do buzzers. And you just ask questions. It's all knowledge based, so there's no animals involved. But to win for the state was really cool, and to go to Lexington is a huge honor, especially if you're in the horse world. Shooting sports, we've had a lot of kids that have won some huge awards in shooting sports. We have a kid that was selected for state ambassador, we just found out, kids that are going to national congress and national conference. So it's like all these fun things happen throughout the year. I think it would be amazing to see pictures of kids actually being
great.
honored, just like a rolling slideshow. So I'm not gonna ask the ambassadors to do that. They may help me out with some morning meetings. And a lot of people have been asking me what my plan is for morning meetings. I know Alan has his own vibe. Some people I think are trying to figure out what my vibe is. And so
You gotta do exercises now.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Now we want gymnastics.
the yoga stuff and the songs,
I don't know about the yoga, but he did jumping jacks and
I don't know.
push-ups and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I've heard.
We'll see.
No,
I got
okay.
tired doing all those. I'd rather you did something else.
I know, so we'll see.
I'm looking forward to your vibe.
I know, yeah, so I think everyone's trying to figure it out.
I'll bring my rocking chair.
Nice. But you know, and then the ambassadors too are really helping to like make the clubhouse feel like, so, today, I had a couple of fair interns that helped sort out the fair t-shirts. Our fair t-shirts got delivered today. We're making like posters and stuff. And we do have a really big meeting on Monday here, actually. So we have a get ready for fair meeting, and that's for any 4-H families and kids. A lot of it's kind of a regurgitation of like some fair safety rules. We're gonna talk about parking passes and wristbands. One thing that was new-ish for our 4-H kids is they had to take a YQCA training, youth quality care of animals. So that was kind of a big push. All the kids had to take it. But that we were kind of using that to say, hey, if you take this training, and also you agree to be representative of 4-H, like you get a wristband. So a lot more kids are being access to kind of like the wristbands and all the privileges that goes with it. So we're gonna talk to kids kind of face to face of like, you got a wristband on, better be representing 4-H. And so we'll have these kind of honest conversations. And then also too, just talk a little bit about human animal transmission on Monday. A little bit of showmanship 101. How do you get ready? What's your checklist look like? We're doing a big push for kids to sign up for some food contest. So Monday is our next big communication timeline. And so also too, we have a new kind of internal communication. So we have walkie-talkies this year. I think it's fantastic for superintendents and junior superintendents. And then we have a band app. A lot of folks use it for sports, but it's like a free app that you can communicate with families. So we want like our 4-H families to sign up for it. And it's a really nice one because they can post things like if like, oh, I'm running late to this show, like those last minute things. So I started populating it with like the event schedules and stuff, which I thought today it would be really fun to add some of like the movie ones too. So they know what else is going on at the fair. So just trying to add more ways families know what's going on, because it is kind of, the fair is such a huge event. It's like planning a lot at once. And so wanting people to understand all the things that are happening. And so they're all in the know. That's kind of where we're at.
Wow, very
Good job.
Good job.
Yes,
Yeah.
excellent.
You can say good job at the end of fair.
But you're on your
It's all words and ideas at this point. Well, wait till the party's over and then we'll see.
You'll take your 2-week vacation then.
No, I have camp in 2 weeks
Yeah,
after that. So no, I have 150 kids that I'm responsible for at camp in 2 weeks after fair.
Not $2 a time.
Yeah. But it's okay. I'll take vacation after camp. I know it was.
Excellent. Thank you.
Very nice.
All right, this is time for public communications. Anybody in the audience, anybody on Zoom, which there isn't anybody, and time to be able to talk for 5 minutes if you would like. Just have to give me your name. Yes, Annabelle.
You mentioned that they're supposed to redo the cloverleaf in the manner that they found it. So, they don't have the stoves. I heard this year we don't have the freezer or the refrigerator in there. It was, the main fridge that what they brought it in last year, but it hasn't been found this year. But I'm just like, so who is it that one can contact to say, hey, you know, these things need to be done?
So number one, if you ever have any questions about the facility, you always contact me, always. Always, and that's not changed, it's always been that way. But the refrigerators are not lost, they are here in Wingspan, and we are moving them back over. We don't let the homeless shelter use those. So we take them out after the fair and we keep them in Wingspan for safekeeping, and then we put them back. But they're getting serviced next week. So the refrigeration company is coming out to recharge them before they get moved back into Cloverleaf.
You were told that they wouldn't have it all, and I was thinking, if you guys are gonna do breakfast and.
Oh, yeah, no.
Nobody even asked me that, so I don't know where that came from. So, no, we have that. And the stoves, we took the stoves out of there because of the problem with the natural gas in that building. So, and then there's
People
not,
leave it on.
no, it's, the building has a problem. It has nothing to do with the shelter. So, and then, there's a gas leak with that building, so we can't use gas, and there's not enough power for electric stoves in there. So there won't be stoves in that building in the future.
And I wanted to say thank you for allowing us the possibility of using the facility for a food contest, because we've tried to do it in the spring and it hasn't worked. Kids are too busy. And even though we'd like to have it so the public can see it, at least they get that opportunity and then can move on to stage. So, anyway, just want to say thank you for making that possible.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And then I guess this is kind of a tricky thing. None of my business, but since we're having a 10-day fair, and since, you know, there's been more expenses also on the 4-H side, is there any possibility that there would be more funding towards those extra expenses that 4-H has and extension have to incur in order to facilitate more in turn from that kind of thing?
Usually if before we go to events, usually we've always raised some money to be able to give to 4-H.
That's a
Different.
different program. But that's where Kristen works with us during our budget process.
But yeah, there's always an opportunity. Yeah,
So that's my question, because I don't know all the ins and outs, and that's why I'm asking.
yeah, because we will be raising some money on breakfast. We don't officially charge adults, but what we do is we do kind of dig into them and to let them know we're collecting money for 4-H. And then when you're getting served by 3 girls that are 111 and 2 are 13, usually they can twist it. So we can get a whole bunch of money, and then what we do is we give it to Kristen. And then Kristen decides how she wants to divide it up for 4-H. And it was a sizable chunk of change last year. Yeah, it was $200-300. So.
You've asked the association in the past to help with the breakfast, are you still wanting? No, okay. I know we have volunteered.
Oh, yeah, in the past, yeah, but no, we pretty much have it covered. It's pretty easy to get going and have everything done and food ordered. We keep it up, and it's, like I said, we don't normally charge. We used to charge adults to eat, but we stopped that.
Now it's a suggested.
Yeah, it's suggested donation by 3 teenage girls. Yeah.
I just didn't know if that was something.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
Leah sent me to school for 6 years to learn to flip those pancakes.
You retrain every year.
Every year I have to go for retraining, recertification.
He's worthy of this.
Elmer's always tries to hire me. It's,
Yeah. Okay, Bob.
Any other questions?
Well, I just let you know, I'm Patty Hyatt, I live in Helvetia, ex-4-H'er, and I remember the time I was baking a pumpkin pie for the competition. And power went out. While the pie was in the oven.
Oh,
no.
So it's, nothing changes.
Yeah.
yeah,
But thank you all for all the work and time that you put into this and all your expertise.
if you'd like to make one this year, Jerry and I would be glad to.
Taste it.
Taste it.
Just make sure.
This is pretty raw, and I've had eggs.
Ooh, raw pumpkin.
Looked like it was on it, didn't pretty. Oh, no.
Mm,
All right. Board announcements.
No county, no CAO update.
Nope, nope. And I don't know if you have any board announcements, but I have one for you guys, and that's just as a reminder. In October, we've got the Oregon Affairs Association Convention coming up. I can't remember if I sent you guys those dates or not, but if I haven't, I will send you guys those dates for your calendar.
Where's it gonna be at? Here, right here, yeah.
So we'll get hotels.
Definitely not.
Actually, Jerry will rent a room.
Yeah, I will. Sure. Whatever you say, Gary.
We'll really talk about the real boss.
Special hospitality suite for the fair.
For the, yeah.
Actually, we should talk about, and we'll talk about this in our, at maybe our next meeting, about having a board of commissioners, like the Washington County Fair Board host fair boards from around the state and board of commissioners from around the state, and we might do a hospitality room where you guys can meet with people and.
That'd be a good idea.
And I think that might be fun, yeah. And I'm working with AOC to get the word out to try to get county commissioners from throughout the state to come as well, because we've not had a lot of luck with that in the past. And
Not the congresswoman.
Commissioners,
Okay.
commissioners,
Commissioner. Okay.
county commissioners
Right on.
to come with their fair boards.
So is that date of the,
October, I'm looking at Bob because I never remember.
We have Rotary lunch in here?
No.
October
Sure.
16 and 18, no, not
Okay.
this year. We
no,
don't have any
they're-
place to put it this year.
Yeah, they're using the,
Oh, that's right. The kids have got the lunch.
Yeah, we don't have,
Perfect.
and
Okay.
they're all getting ready for the parade to figure out.
if they decide they want to do a social afterward,
Yeah,
we
They're,
certainly
they're
can.
they're pretty well spread this time, so
that's fine.
we're good.
and
October
you'll
16.
send us an invite
will,
on that? Yeah, thank you.
And next
All
meeting,
right.
next meeting.
Next
is
meeting,
September 3rd,
September 3rd.
right here.
Thanks for the packet of goodies here.
Yes.
Thank you, yes.
Breakfast, remember breakfast, 24, 5, 6, and 7. Albert opens the gate at 6. Be here at 6. We'll get set up.
Do you need a motion to adjourn?
Yeah,
So moved.
okay, can we second it? We're adjourned,
Okay.
unless anybody wants to stay. And then you can talk to Bob.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great 4th of July.
Oh, you too.
Thank you for everything, to the parade.
Yes.
Of course.
Thank you so much.